skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like nobody. Like I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. Well, yeah, I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
Shakur Stevenson.
First of all, he's not in no position until someone say send me the contract. Like what you mean you'll send me the contract? What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. These guys are just got to like they get a few wins and they get a little above themselves. They ain't really like they come see me and I give them a real they get a real check.
Yeah.
What weight do I want to fight? I don't know, bro. I'm just cruising probably through 35, 40. I really don't want to fight 40, but then it's like I do want to show niggas like.
Yeah.
And do you think the
like
expectations at you already did like 140, right? Expectations like, all right, man, he can do 140. If you go down, people gonna be like, why the fuck you ain't stay at 140? You know what I mean?
Nah, because there's some good fighters at 135 too. So even if they like at the end of the day, anything we do like is like people gonna say something anyway. So regardless of whatever they say, fuck them. But as far as like, it's some good fighters at 35 too, and there's some good fighters at 40. So it just depends on what all makes sense. Nah, he's stubborn like me. Like me and him kind of like similar when it comes to stubbornness. So I know that when his mom made up, unless you say the craziest,
put that bag in front
it gotta be the craziest number. You better say $1 billion. You probably gonna jump up like shit.
I don't know though, bro. 300, 300.
And you got the utmost confidence, like you say, like shit, I'm finna go, I'm finna.
He believe in himself too.
For sure.
Me and him similar, but I just know like his stubbornness is like he already made his mind up. Like when you make your mind up as a stubborn person, it's like
you gotta see it through.
I can't go back on my word with myself.
I don't even know who he would fight at this point though.
No, but then he said, oh no, I'm dropping back down to 135 or 130, whatever it is, and I'm not fighting at 147. Whereas a couple months before he said they'd fight me at 154. You know, so it's just cowardly, you know, because for me, I fight anyone. I've jumped up 2 weights to fight my arch nemesis who was more experienced.
If you can make 147, make 147. You can make 147 against Conor. That means you can make the weight. So if you can make the weight, then why not fight, take their belts, fight Ryan, and fight Devin at their weight?
Because once again, I'm not a 147 pounder. I'm actually a lot smaller than them guys that's fighting at 147 pounds. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. But what I'm trying to understand is, and I answered your question, answer mine. Why am I the only fighter that y'all want to fight at 135, 140, and 147? Why do I got to fight 3 different weight classes for everybody else satisfaction?
The silence has finally ended. Gervonta Davis just told Shakur Stevenson the real reason he has been avoiding him. Gervonta Davis doesn't play with Shakur Stevenson because he doesn't like him. He doesn't respect Shakur because of fake talk, drama, and jealousy that wants to get attention.
And then they show you like what type of person niggas is in the sport. Like they really trying to like, it's not really like, they don't want the spotlight. They want like, it's like more so like hate type of vibe, like, you know, they want what you have, like they want all the attention on them and type. But if they was to get it, they wouldn't even know what to do with it type. And it's like I didn't ask for this; it just what came with it. Like, you know, I'm real like people understand me because I'm myself at all times. Like, I'm not nobody that's gonna fake the phone like that. And if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm learning myself, bro. Like just trying to learn the difference between being genuine, authentic, but still playing a game, right? And I can't really understand the game.
Shakur Stevenson is getting a lot of attention. Gervonta Davis calls him out on being fake by saying that every time Shakur begs for a fight, it's when Tank already has a fight planned. Davis thinks Stevenson is just trying to get people excited about his fame instead of showing what he's really trying to do.
I mean, it just people like other fighters, they will say it, but they know they got like 3 or 4 fights already on they already in a deal type of situation. Like,
okay.
They know they can, but that shit already set in stone. And they always call me out when they have a fight. You don't never see them call me out when they don't have no fight. Never. Like when they just sitting around saying, they don't never call me out. They always call me out when they got a fight lined up.
All right, that makes sense.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now go look back at it. Like, yeah, they fake.
Things have changed for Shakur. Tank talks about how Shakur tweets trash talk, but Shakur has answered with his opinion. His most recent conversation is where he talks about what happened and how he has changed since then.
You in a situation where you know you the best. Like, you know deep down, like, I'm the one. Like, that's how I'm feeling.
Right.
But then you got people who just saying all types of bullshit. So during that point of time, I used to feed into it to where I probably shouldn't have been feeding into it, but I couldn't help it. Like, I couldn't, my passion for my craft and who I am and I know what I can do just pushed it, and I fought back at niggas. Like, I always did that. But now that I done elevated in my life and like changed certain things around, I try my best not to even get into it on the Twitter or all that shit. Cause I know like people spin that shit. They gonna spin it and turn people against you. Like, I watched the entire world turn against me.
Shakur's life has changed, but one thing has stayed the same. He still hates Gervonta Davis. In a recent interview, he talked about those claims and stated why he doesn't like Tank. He also said that anyone who has problems with him can work them out in the ring on fight night.
Do you ever think we'll see you in Tank? Realistically.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't really like talking about him.
Yeah.
Cause like the way that he move is goofy to me. Like, it's some weird shit. So like, I really don't like speaking on him. But like, if same thing that
fighting perspective.
Same thing that I said with T.O. If anybody got issues with me or feel some type of way about me, you could come see me on fight night and resolve every issue that you got.
Yeah.
I stand by that with anybody.
But keeping it boxing.
That's boxing.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not.
The boxing community wants this fight to happen, and Shakur Stevenson has said in public that he would love to see it happen. But Tank has to get on the way first. Of course, if he keeps avoiding Shakur, he will have many other options besides just waiting for an answer. Shakur says he doesn't care about anyone who thinks he needs more fights because he already has enough, and he will make his own choice instead of waiting for others. Up the heat even more. Shakur recently used harsh words against Gervonta Davis in an interview with Joe Rogan. He said that Davis wasn't a real challenge and sent Davis a strong message that his Tank's social media boasts and inflated self-image won't stop him. Stevenson made it clear that he doesn't need to fight Davis to prove his skills or image. His confidence and focus are enough, no matter how much online buzz Tank makes.
Fight that I would think that would generate the most amount of interest at 135 would be Tank. Now, I know Tank's got some legal issues now, and I don't know what his status is currently.
I would love for it to happen, but the way that he went on like social media and kind of like bashed me in a way to where it was like he made it seem like I need him. I just feel disrespected about it because at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I make my own money. I'm living a spectacular life. I don't need nobody. If he feels as though I need him and if it's that kind of stuff, then it's like whatever. I'm not in need of that.
Some say Shakur Stevenson avoids the sport's toughest opponents because he went right into the fire and won praise for his performance against Teofimo Lopez during one of his earlier X-Base Live shows. He was asked about fighting fighters who were seen as less dangerous than the top contenders. Some people said that beating Teofimo, who had already lost to Kambosos, wasn't very important. In response, Stevenson didn't hold back. She called Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney out by name and dared them to accept the challenge and show what they were made of in the ring, where it matters.
But you know you caught a lick, like, and then you trying to play it like, yo, I'm the best fighter in the world for beating T.O. Like Kambosos already punched that nigga face in, bro. Like, you not that yet, bro. For real. Go get Devin. Go get Tank or some shit. Like, you know what you doing, bro. You caught a lick, bro.
Hey, you gotta tell niggas to just fight me, though. Fuck it, bro. The ones you want to see, tell them niggas to fight me.
Conor Benn is Shakur's other opponent. Ben recently took shots at him, telling him of how he said he would fight even at 154 pounds but is now running like a scared fighter and saying he won't move up to 147 pounds. Ben thinks that the inconsistency is caused by pure fear, but Shakur sees it as just another name on a long list of people who talk a lot, but then back down when the situation gets tough.
After Shakur's fight, you were in the ring with him. He called you food.
No, but then he said, oh no, I'm dropping back down to 135 or 130, whatever it is, and I'm not fighting at 147. Whereas a couple months before he said he'd fight me at 154. You know, so it's just cowardly, you know, because for me, I fight anyone. I've jumped up 2 weights to fight my arch nemesis who was more experienced, you know, former interim champion, this and that. I'll fight anyone. Not bothered. I'm not bothered.
In response to the criticism, Shakur says he is ready to fight Conor Benn at 147 pounds with a rehydration clause, but he would rather fight Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. He also talks about how these boxers have used his name to sell their own fights while changing their stances in ways that boxing fans don't notice. The truth has finally come out for Shakur.
You say, oh, well, you said this, but you ain't say Devin and Ryan at
147 for rehydration.
But you don't realize what's going on. So before Ryan last fight, Ryan used my name to sell his fight. With Mike Carpenter. When he used my name, he was saying a whole lot of shit. He said, one of the things that he said was, I will go to 144 and fight Shakur. I'm like, okay, you will go to 144 and fight me, so then fuck it, let's do 144 then, if that's what you're saying. Then after that shit, he said, I will fight you at 140. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to come down to 140, I'm down with it too. So my thing is, like, y'all not really paying attention. Y'all trying to, like, make me into this person that's just saying anything, but I'm getting all of these things from these fights.
Shakur Stevenson's name has also been brought up in connection with a possible fight with Ryan Garcia. When Gary Russell Jr. talked about the subject, he said some surprising things that made it sound like Stevenson might have a hard time doing much damage to Garcia. Russell says that this could make Garcia the more dangerous opponent, giving Shakur a bigger test than many fans and watchers thought he would face before the fight.
That's what I think his skill is, honestly. That's what I think his skill is. Like, his skill isn't like his boxing ability. His skill is, a lot of times when you watch people fight, you can see that one fighter is in more control of what's going on in that ring. He maintains a certain level of control with his distance and range. I believe that's what his true skill is. But if you can break that, then you got something different. I don't know if Ryan will be able to break it. But I think he's tall enough, and he got enough reach, whereas though Shakur is going to have to close the distance to actually hit Ryan.
Gary Russell Jr. makes a big guess. Ryan Garcia might be the one who really bothers Shakur Stevenson. Russell doesn't think Stevenson is as dangerous as Garcia, but he does see that Shakur is a big draw because he is a star and can be bought. He thinks Garcia has a big edge when it comes to real talent and punching power, though. Russell's most recent study goes into great depth about how Garcia's speed, timing, and perfectionism could completely change the outcome of the fight if it ever happens in the ring.
You know what I'm saying? He got to cross that line of fire to hit Ryan, versus he just making them come into him and he just pot shotting them. And Ryan got some pop. If Ryan touches his ass, he got the ability to hurt Shakur. I don't think Shakur has the ability to hurt him. Damn. He can hurt his pride, but I don't think he can physically.
Teddy Atlas criticized Shakur Stevenson for staying away from Tank Davis, saying it was a smart move to protect his clean record. While everyone hails Shakur's ability to defend himself, Teddy thinks that fighting Tank is the hardest thing he has ever had to do, and it looks like Shakur is scared to face him. He used legends like Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, and Sugar Ray Leonard to show how fighters always rose to the moment, while Shakur seemed to be avoiding the fight.
Tank Davis was presented to him tomorrow. Really, if that could, would he really take it, or would he still be looking for the Navarrete fights where he thinks he has an edge and he can stay undefeated and he can kind of walk that rope, which is an easier rope to run? Do we know that he's what we want him to be, what we think he is inside as far as wanting those kind of fights? Do we really know it? We know it about history tells us finally, eventually, but right now, do we know that? I mean, we found it out about Mayweather, who was a really good defensive fighter, fast hands, all that, great, but he wanted those fights, and you know, and I could go down the list of other guys, Pernell Whitaker, whatever, they wanted those guys, Sugar Ray Leonard, they wanted those guys, but do we know that he has that? We know he has all these other things. Does he have that? Do we know that, or is it just that he wants to avoid that?
Fans can't wait to see this fight. Ted Atlas thinks that Tank Davis is the only person who can beat Shakur Stevenson. He talks a lot about Tank's style and skills, which are very dangerous for Shakur. Teddy thinks that Shakur couldn't have as much trouble with any other fighter. Teddy thinks that Tank is there to physically and technically break down Shakur if he comes into the ring with Tank.
Because Shakur Stevenson is that difficult because of his style, because of his abilities, because of his eyes, because of his, his legs, and his hand speed, the way that he controls range. Tank Davis is the only guy that I can see that could possibly decipher that style and beat Shakur Stevenson.
Teddy Atlas says that Tank Davis is the only fighter who can really compete with Shakur Stevenson. Not only does he throw big punches, but he also counterpunches and is very good at planning his moves. Teddy says that Tank is the only boxer who can effectively set traps and force Shakur to make mistakes. It will be more than just a strength showdown if this fight happens. Smarts, skill, and timing are all important in this fight.
This is the man. Right now, he's in his prime. He can do everything. Forget about the fact that he's the hardest puncher and all of that, but he's also terrific counterpuncher, sets traps, can use his legs when he has to. He's patient when he needs to be patient, deliberate, cerebral, as both champions talked about. Right now, he's the full package. He's the complete package. I'll finish with this. He's probably the only guy I can think of beating Shakur Stevenson.
As Gervonta Tank Davis's popularity grows, people are getting more excited about a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Sean Porter weighed in and said that the fight would happen, but fans may be in for a treat. Porter says that Stevenson hasn't really faced an opponent who tests his battle IQ yet. Shakur thinks Tank is the best fighter because he is skilled and tough enough to push Shakur to new levels of performance.
We got so many. It's just we ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's gonna pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank. You're gonna see IQ. We saw IQ, but to me, it was low IQ because the reason why it was low IQ is because everybody followed the script. And what I mean by that is you see somebody's IQ take place when a fighter makes an adjustment and now you have to adjust to what that fighter is doing. And that's kind of where you see
who's smart and who get a hold of it.
I think my fight with Terrence shows a very high level of IQ from both of us. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what Tank is going to do with Shakur. He's going to come into the ring and be a different version of himself.
Fans have been waiting years for Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson, which many see as the biggest fight in boxing history. But the game keeps getting pushed back. Shakur is now coming out and saying why he doesn't think Davis will enter the ring. Stevenson knows how strong Tank is because they have met before. Davis has scared looks in his eyes. He knows this deep down.
How come Gervonta Davis didn't fight Shakur Stevenson? How come these cats? Do you find, how do you answer that question for those of us who look at you and say, where are these fights at? How come they're not fighting it?
My answer to that question is I had a lot of personal experience with these guys, and these guys done seen me in the gym and they done been in the ring with me before, so they know how good I am. And when they know that I'm that good, it's hard to get them to sign a contract to say, I want to fight that guy, because you see what happened with T.O. Like, T.O. got in there, got embarrassed, and now the world is turning their back on him, but they should commend him because of the fact that he put it all on the line.
Gervonta Davis has been in the news for things that happened outside of the ring. But Roy Jones Jr. thinks that Shakur will raise his hand if the long-awaited fight between Tank and Shakur happens. Jones talks about how disciplined and better Shakur is, especially after the fight with Teofimo. Regardless, he knows that Tank's strength might be what's bothering Shakur.
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo that he can stay very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline. But we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at right times than we've seen him not have discipline. So with the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could beat him, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intention.
Roy Jones Jr. talks about the matchup and stresses how scary Tank can be when he's at his best. He thinks that Gervonta Davis will be a tough opponent for anyone if he deals with his problems outside of the ring and stays sharp and focused. Tank may be more popular with the people because he is stronger, but Roy still supports Shakur. He says not to underestimate Tank in case he brings something new to the fight.
But Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right. Tank is a problem for anybody. Because Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it make people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. If Tank is motivated and ready to fight, Tank is a problem for anybody.
While everyone waits to see what happens between Shakur and Tank fans learn about the fight between Pitbull, Cruz, and Tank. The WBA seems to be making a final choice about whether to strip Tank or decide what will happen to him in the future based on what he does and where he goes from here.
WBA confirmed that will be the next fight, and they're looking to make a decision if they want to strip Tank Davis of his belt or just allow him to fight at 140 and make a decision if he's going to stay at 140 or is he going to come back down to 135.
Finally, one question still needs to be answered. Does Gervonta Davis want to protect his record or his pride? Shakur says he's all set. Teddy Atlas says Tank is scared. Gary Russell Jr. thinks Ryan Garcia might be the real danger. The WBA is getting ready to make a final choice. There has been a lot of waiting, and now is your chance to speak up. Please click the like button, share your guess in the comments, and let us know who is really trying to avoid who. Sign up now so you don't miss the next big story.